Metal workers get dirty while forging community. Seize the moment with pastel painter Lisa Stauffer and live music from James Moores. Your playlist is next.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
He's honed his musical chops by playing and touring throughout the country. Please welcome James Moores live on the playlist.
I am a gypsy, I blow with the wind, I've changed where it takes me, I move from within. Sculpture buried in stone, buried in stone. I'm a bit tipsy, I've had too much wine. If you don't want to kiss me, then don't tell me why. Love is a fragile thing, buried in stone. Love is a fragile thing, buried in stone. Love is a fragile thing, and some want a big red rose, and some want a diamond ring. I don't want either of those, buried in stone. Well, you don't have to convince me. I've made my false starts. I've tried to move mountains, and they've all fallen apart. I'm nothing but flesh and bone, I'm buried in stone. And love is a fragile thing, buried in stone. And love is a fragile thing, buried in stone. Love is a fragile thing, buried in stone.
Well, we'll be back with the dirt on blacksmithing right after this.
You're going to hear pieces that you know in a way you've never heard before. And Mass Ensemble, they're amazing. They're really great musicians, really fun to work with. And they bring an energy that just adds to the energy of the DSSO. And we have a blast. It's really fun. I'm Erin Aldridge, and I am the concertmaster of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. Putting together a program with all of these really amazingly cool instruments that I think everyone will enjoy and love and have a lot of fun with. It is the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra's New Year's Eve program, and we're playing with William Close and the Mass Ensemble, and it's down at Amsoil Arena on the 31st at 7 o'clock.
Blacksmithing can be a vehicle for community building. A group of art-minding metal workers are hammering out the details of a cooperative forge based at the historic Duluth Armory, and we're all invited to join in. Paul Webster and Mark Poyer are here to fill us in. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for taking the time to come over. Now, Paul, you are the blacksmith.
I am.
Okay, so tell us what this is about. What are you doing?
Well, the idea is that we're going to try to open blacksmithing up to as much of the general public as humanly possible, and we decided to go really big with it. So we want to have a lot of demonstrating. We have to have a lot of teaching, and teaching people to demonstrate. So we expect to have 4 forges in the building.
That's a lot of activity.
That's a lot.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the original plan, when we first spoke, was maybe 1 or 2 forges.
Right, and it keeps growing, yep.
Yeah, there was, more people called up and said, hey.
That's a good sign.
Exactly. So there will be a number of people involved.
Excellent. Mark, how does this fit with the big picture of what you want the Armory Arts and Music Center to be?
Well, this is a great kind of a starting point. You may have heard we've developed a music program, the Music Resource Center, and we've been looking at, what is the art programming going to be over at the Armory. And we had our building, we call it the Armory Annex. A lot of people know it as the old Perkins property. And as we've been repairing that from the flood, we were approached by Paul and his group, and the more we listened to him, we just became so excited. I mean, just what he talked about was really just fits so much with our education mission of the Armory Arts and Music Center. We just got so excited, and we just teamed up, and Paul's come on with his group and so much energy, and we've really been working hard to bring that building back, so it's been a great experience.
When I talked to you on the phone this week, I think you were over there doing some work and juggling a few things, and you also, Paul, said you had some projects that what are the next steps before you can just put 4 forges inside a building?
Yeah, we need to get occupancy certification, and we need to make it more fire resistant, and we need to put a large penetration in the roof and a big fan on top to suck out huge amounts of exhaust gases.
Yeah, which is an expensive proposition, am I right?
Yeah. We're about to launch a Kickstarter campaign to do a little fundraising in that regard. But I have a lot of the skills to do a lot of that myself. I'm certified to build and maintain solid fuel systems for my day job.
Okay, well, which is
at Black Goose. Yeah.
That would be a handy skill to have. So when you think of the Armory and having this kind of improvement already happening, is that like the next step in your process, or where is the Armory at in their journey?
Well, the Armory itself, where we're just recovering, as you probably know, from the floods that happened this summer, and we worked all summer and fall, and we've cleaned up the portion of the building that we can really clean up with the Armory. The city will be working on the culvert and cleaning up the basement level. And so our next project is the project of bringing the Annex building back to life, and we'll get some excitement, just bringing some vitality to the neighborhood and bringing some visibility to the project. And we'll get, Paul, the forging community guys in there, and hopefully, we can bring in, probably have room for another group or two. They're looking for low-cost kind of art studio kinds of spaces that can play with fire like Paul and his gang can.
Okay.
And
does this worry you
well
that they
together.
are playing with fire?
No. We can make it safe, and it was interesting that the fire marshal, when we were talking about it, she said, "You'll have open flames," and we said, "Yes." Oh, okay. It wasn't a big deal. She was excited.
Yeah, this is what it looks like, and so when you think of forging, there's some pretty hot stuff going on there.
Yeah, and we're greensmiths. We're blacksmiths, but we're greensmiths in that we use charcoal. So what our fires are slightly less in intensity to standard coal. What's been used more lately in the last 200 years, modern smithing, but charcoal is so much cleaner. There was some concern as to what neighborhood people would think about a bunch of fire in their midst, but we're going to use propane assist to start the forges, and so they will cook food on it, and that might be the complaint. They'll smell our food.
Which isn't so bad.
No, they'll think another restaurant opened up.
So if you want to get involved, if you want to figure out what you're doing, what's the best way to plug into this Forging Community project?
Well, best way to get a hold of us probably is you can get a hold of us on Facebook. We have a page, Forging Community. We'll have a web page up soon. You could also call me, but my number will be available on that page.
Okay. Yeah, be
yeah.
careful, Paul.
Right.
It's all good because you're
Yeah.
hanging out with some good artists who really want to see this succeed, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We think that we can have a lot of demonstration time. We're shooting for 40 hours of live demonstration a week.
That's great.
So
And
that
everybody's
should be-
going to have work available. You better show off your
Oh,
hook there.
Yeah, this is one of the items that will be available on our Kickstarter as a gift on our Kickstarter campaign.
So if you're looking for a handmade
Yes,
coat hook,
this is a coat hook.
pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't tested this, but based on some tests, I think it'll hold up 200 pounds.
Okay. All right. So all your snow gear can go on one hook.
Exactly.
All right.
And
Thank
your
you both.
Volkswagen.
So appreciate your time and good luck on this adventure.
Well, thanks for having us.
That's really cool. I hope I get to come down and watch.
Oh yeah, bring your welder.
Yeah.
We'll have 220.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Now your next chance to see Forging Community in action is this Saturday, December 22nd at the Armory Annex, 9 to 5 in the former Perkins parking lot. Bystanders are welcome. Now, artists who work outside are pretty used to people watching, and Lisa Stauffer is among them. She carries a full palette of vibrant pastels and a portable easel when she's out hunting for just the right scene. Her landscapes transmit atmosphere in bright and subtle tones.
Checking out my building. I like this because it has a strong sweep of distance and I could do something with this indication of fence posts here too, just another kind of man-made leading eye. Let's try one more spot. I like this angle because it sets off this little bit of yellow wildflowers against the dark windows. So the building becomes a little more important here rather than a space leading up to the building. I think this is going to win. These are just some placement considerations.
She's very connected to working on location, and there's an immediacy in that connection.
The first thing I want to accomplish is set up a feeling of distance. I want you to feel close here, and then I want you to go back to the house.
As a landscape painter, it is that connection with the landscape, that visual beauty, that sensitivity and poetry. She's got a beautiful eye for design.
So everything is look at your subject, and then you have to make a color and value choice for every single portion of the subject.
It's classic plein air, and you can look at a piece, and as polished as it might be at the end, you know that it came from outside.
I look for the rhythm, and where do I need a little, where does the painting tell me to put a flower? And then I bring out a much more intense yellow for just a couple of petals in the focal areas. You'll see that those will really pop compared to the other ones. I'm Lisa Stauffer. I live in Duluth, Minnesota, and I paint in pastel. I like this little tuck up on the roof. It has like a little smile lift to the edge of the roof. Maybe that is what I like, that little happiness. The beauty of painting is there's always some new idea that you want to try to be able to attain. There's always a new goal out in front of you that you aren't able to do yet. It's a fabulous lifelong pursuit. There's no end. Like playing a musical instrument well, you can always just get a little better, get a little more subtlety. Okay, we're done. Almost.
Now look for Lisa's artwork in galleries around Duluth and in Grand Marais. Now in the Playlist Gallery tonight, Craig Blacklock shares a gorgeous image of paper birch trees at Split Rock Lighthouse. And we have a raku sculpture called Raven Flight by Pat and Ken Larson. And you can see more of their artwork at the Waters Gallery here in Canal Park. Now, to make suggestions and share episodes of the playlist, check out our website at theplaylistonline.org. Get the latest by becoming a fan on Facebook and following the Playlist MN on Twitter. And now, please welcome back James Morse.
There are no hard, fast rules when it comes to love and war. You best know what you're after, what you're in it for. Without a leg to stand on, he makes an argument based upon delusions and tempered evidence. 'Cause everything is rosy when you have the right of way. And some will claim they're holy as they try to take your rights away. There are no hard, fast rules when it comes to love and war. You best know what you're after, what you're in it for. You're raised upon conviction, full of bleeding heart. Or you're a dream or a nightmare, it can be hard to tell apart. 'Cause everything is rosy when you have the right of way. Some will claim they're holy as they try to take your rights away. There are no hard, fast rules when it comes to love and war. You best know what you're after, what you're in it for. What you're in it for, what you're in it for, what you're in it for, what you're in it for. There are no hard, fast rules when it comes to love and war. You best know what you're after, once you're in it. There are no hard, fast rules when it comes to love and war. You best know what you're after, once you're in it. Love and war. Love and war. Love and war. Love and war.
Thank you. Thanks for coming over to play music with us. It's
Happy to
really,
do it, yeah.
really nice to have you. Before you put this beautiful instrument down, you better tell us what it is.
This is a bouzouki. It's an Irish bouzouki. It comes from a Greek term, bouzouki. But bouzouki's were taken to Ireland in like the 1960s, and that's where I first heard it through a friend of mine who I now play music with, Court McCumber, and introduced to it that way. And so I've just been plugging along, trying to figure it out, writing some tunes on it.
And the first instrument you played was a ukulele.
Ukulele, yep.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. I got that last week, actually. So it just started on that.
And
it's a blast.
you are the songwriter or a songwriter. How does
Yeah.
playing with different instruments kind of shape the music you're writing?
I love it because I've always played just mostly acoustic guitar or electric guitar, and so it's it puts you into one frame of mind from the music standpoint. So when you get to try things out on different instruments, it sits differently than the register of your voice, so it allows you to do some different things that you might not do otherwise. So it's fun.
When do you have time? I mean, you have
When do I
been
have
traveling, you've been performing. When do you have time to play with
Well, on the
different
road, I'm
things?
not the driver, so I in between gigs can plug around and stuff like that. But I don't know, wherever I can get a minute. The kids are in school now, so I get to do that when I'm home.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now tell me a little bit more about this partnership with Court McCumber. You guys have
Yeah,
been
we have a
friends and-
duo. It's called Moores and McCumber. We met in 2005 out in at a Folks Fest out in Lyons, Colorado. Just struck up a friendship and talked a lot about music and songwriting. He helped me with some songs. I helped him with some songs. I did my 2006 record with him and another guy out in Vermont. And then we just started writing more and more and performing some together, and people seem to really like the harmonies and the different instruments. Court plays about 10 different instruments when we're on the road, so it's a real fun act to be part of.
Yeah, and I have one of your CDs.
Yes.
Gravity, yes.
That's the new one, yep.
Yeah, awesome. And the next song you're going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to
is
play the title track to Gravity. Yeah.
That is fantastic. So truly, thank you for sharing a little bit of your musical journey with us. It's been
Yeah,
really
happy
fun.
to. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'll
Well,
get
thank
this.
you for watching tonight. Have a great weekend and get out and enjoy arts and live music this holiday season. And now I'm leaving it to James to take us on out. So happy holidays and thank you very much.
Thanks.
Gravity, the air I breathe, you and me. John Hyde on the radio, singing from a place so low. Singing about a love is lost, living life at all costs. And the gravity in the air I breathe, and you and me. Falling down is natural, getting up takes self-control. I wanna face the morning sun, I don't wanna turn and run. The gravity in the air I breathe, and you and me. The gravity in the air I breathe, you and me. John Hyde on the radio, singing from a place so low. Peace and empathy, little love is what we need. Have a little faith in the gravity in the air I breathe, and you and me. In the gravity the air I breathe. You and me.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to finish up with a song that I wrote with, I co-wrote with a friend of mine here in town, a guy by the name of Peter Van Dyken, and this song is called Slipstream.
Was it my imagination? Did you leave me little clues when you walked out in your pajamas? You started making your own rules. Now I'm tumbling in your slipstream, and I'm hoping you won't go too far. And if only things were different then, it wouldn't be the way they are. I dream about you, baby, how you walked away too soon. I may be your distant memory, but you're still living in my living room, and I'm tumbling in your slipstream. I'm hoping you won't go too far, and if only things are different then, it wouldn't be the way they are. I'm tumbling in your slipstream. I'm tumbling, still tumbling in your slipstream.